Black racial justice leaders are now demanding white people to pay reparations for slavery.
The United States has a moral and legal obligation to provide reparations for the enslavement of Africans. Black people in our country cannot wait any longer for our government to begin addressing each and every one of the extraordinary bits of harm, all of the harm it has caused since the founding.
Black racial justice leader Cori Bush held a press conference demanding white people to pay reparations for slavery. Cori Bush claimed that not paying reparations is an injustice to black people. These statements from black racial justice leader Cori Bush has garnered backlash from commenters online. Commenters claim that black people don't deserve reparations and that Cori Bush should be removed from power. But what's your opinion on the situation? Do you agree with Cori Bush that whites need to pay black people reparations, or do you agree with the commenters? Comment your opinion down below.
They've been doing this. They've been giving the immigrants money when they come over here, but then we talk about, hey, okay, well, shoot, man, break us off our reparations in the form of cash payments. Because you don't give those people a study. You didn't give the Cubans a study. You didn't give the Venezuelans and anybody else that came over here a study. You gave them checks. When we talk about our reparations, you talk about a study. They don't even talk about anything. They just got their hand out and you put checks in hand. That's why black people was like, hey, man, I ain't really got a problem with ICE. Yeah, ICE can get them on out of here. Why do we want a bunch of people to come in our area that already have anti-black racism in their homeland and they coming to compete with you? They're not coming here to be your friend. Dr. Claude Anderson preached that long time ago, that none of them are coming here to be your friend. They're coming to compete with you for housing, compete with you for jobs. And on top of that, a lot of them want proximity to whiteness. So that means they're going to be against you just to prove to them, hey, I'm anti-black too. Look, you see, I don't like the black people. So it's nothing new underneath the sun, brothers and sisters. And the presidents that this mostly happened under, Eisenhower, Lyndon Johnson, Kennedy, all of them were cool with them coming over here. They didn't say, hey, stay in your homeland and fight, don't flee. But black folks been getting screwed over financially by the government. That's why these other groups look at us the way they do, because they can come in and get preferential treatment over the people that's built the country. That's why they get arrogant. That's why they talk crap to you. This is why a lot of black people say, yeah, I'm cool on the Democrat Party too, because I can't support no party that is just basically promoting my displacement. But I tell black people don't be Republican either. No Republican, no Democrat, independent. Because you may have to vote Republican because of a certain reason. You may have to vote Democrat for a certain reason, but you should not be tied to no political party. Nobody should be banking on the black vote. If we can just get to that point that they don't know where the black vote is going, that's the most powerful position for us to be in. There's no way we should be voting for anybody that's pro-immigration. No, it doesn't benefit us at all. These people have not changed, bro. They have not changed. Every time I look up, they always trying to do black people wrong, man. Always. We ain't done nothing to nobody. That's why the world is in chaos now with Trump. You can't keep doing God's children that way and think you're going to have just a great life and everything going to be great and peaceful and successful. No, the whole world being turned upside down with Trump. And it's only going to get worse. If they'd done right by black people, they wouldn't be in this issue and problem.
This conversation, it never really goes away. Every single year, the topic of reparation comes back louder, more emotional, and more divided than before. And right now, it's picking up momentum again. And here's the real question nobody seems to agree on. Are reparation overdue justice or an impossible solution? Because on one side, you have people saying this is about centuries of unpaid labor, stolen opportunities, and a system that never truly corrected itself. And on the other side, you've got people asking who pays, who qualifies, and how far back do we go? Now, before we go further, this video is for educational and discussion purposes only. The goal here is not to offend, but to present perspectives, spark conversation, and to help you see the full picture. And also, credit goes to the original creators for every single clip used in this episode. So don't rush your opinion just yet, because once you hear what's actually being said, you might see this whole topic very differently.
If you want to join the fight for reparations, there's an established organization called the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. They are lobbying and petitioning for the HR 40 bill to be pushed through Congress so we can get justice and compensation for the centuries of forced labor upon our ancestors. Now, before you put in your information on this website, I will say, do your research, do your own research, look into it, and see if it's something that's right for you, and see if it's something that you want to be a part of. America does owe for the enslavement of our people, African Americans. So, with that being said, this group is pushing, this organization is pushing for that to be brought into fruition. So, here's the website, and here's the information. This is how the page looks. Now, the home page is totally different. So what I did was I put in aclu.org. Well, I searched aclu.org and then space or slash reparations. And then it gave me a link that I could go to get to this page. So if you want to join the fight for reparations, 2026, the bill is overdue. It's overdue. Compensation is overdue. The debt is overdue. There should have been something that should have been done about the enslaved people long time ago. But nothing has happened. So this is an opportunity for us to do what we got to do to get it pushed through Congress. America does owe. Our people built this country, this foundation that has this system running the way it runs, and it's time for them to pay the piper.
So by now, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have seen this. Median household income in the United States by ethnic group. I didn't know it was this damn bad, but golly, we're black people, we are at the bottom. Started at the bottom and still at the motherfucking bottom. And women complain about us talking about going 50-50. They'll say, why would I go 50-50 when I could just do it by myself? And it shows. I also hear a lot of women say, black men are the only ones who talk about going 50-50, yada, yada. Do you think these other races got to where they at with just one man's income? I'm pretty sure a lot of them, they all work together. But only in our race that we talk, we complain, or our women complain about the men complain or saying that they want to go 50-50. And I'm just like, I don't think it's ever going to change. I think this status is going to either get worse or maybe a little bit better, but we're still going to be at the bottom. There's going to have to be a great shift, which I don't see no time near in my future or even my son's future that this is going to change. And a lot of women will scream, you know, they're educated. They don't need us. They this, they that. They know they worth. They're not going 50-50. And I'm just like, I wonder how much, because, I hear all the time that black women are doing so much better than black men. They're just doing they're more homeowners. They're just, they just more educated. They get more money. And I'm just like, damn, bro, black men, we really doing that bad? So I had to go look it up for myself. So on average, black women in the United States make $36,000 a year. So I'm like, damn, and that means black men are making less than that for sure. You know what I mean? Like, for sure they are. So black men make $828 weekly, $43 annually. Last time I checked, 43 is bigger than 36. Just math, simple math.
And this is where the conversation gets real because I understand why Black Americans are asking for reparation, not halfway, not with condition attached, but fully. I understand why this issue keeps coming up. I understand why the frustration doesn't go away. But what's surprising is some media platforms still act like they don't understand, like this is something new. like this is something new, like this came out of nowhere. But when you actually look at the real life, it's not hard. But when you actually look at the real life, it's not hard to see why. There are families that have been working hard for generations, doing everything they were told would lead to success, and still have very little to show of it. And it's not because they are lazy, it's not because they don't care, it's because every time there was an opportunity to build something solid, the door was either locked from the start or slammed shut later. And those setbacks, they didn't just disappear. The effects of slavery didn't vanish with time. They carried forward through families, through communities, through entire neighborhoods. They shaped where people could live. They influenced who could own property and who had to rent. They determined who could build wealth and who stayed stuck, living paycheck to paycheck. And when Black Americans talk about reparation, they are not just talking about money. They are talking about being stuck in a circle they didn't create. They are talking about a gap that didn't happen by accident. They are talking about being told to move on while still dealing with consequences every single day. And yes, reparation could change lives. It could remove pressure. It could remove open doors. It could finally give families the breathing room they never had. And for many people, that would be powerful. But here is the part that doesn't get talked about. Money alone doesn't automatically create long term stability, because if the system that created the gap in the first place doesn't change, then even a large number of money can disappear over time. And that's where the deeper question comes in. Is reparation just about compensation, or is it also about fixing the system so same pattern don't repeat over and over again? Because if one is done without the other, then conversation might not end anytime soon. So I want to hear from you now. Do you think reparation should happen? If yes, how should it be done? And if not, what's the real solution? Drop your thoughts in the comment, because this is a conversation that can't be ignored. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss further conversation. See you in my next episode.